Now NBC5 responds, and a Woodstock family tells us they're stuck paying nearly $1,000 a month for a vehicle they just don't feel safe driving due to 3 active recalls. As they look for answers, investigative reporter PJ Randhawa takes a closer look at their options, the limits of the state lemon laws, and the federal protections available to use in situations like this.
At first, leasing this brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee 4XE hybrid seemed like the perfect upgrade for Steve Shepley and his young family.
We were convinced that, hey, this is a great car. Let's go ahead and do this, especially for family, trips, all that.
But the honeymoon was short-lived. Within just 6 months of owning the car, the recall notices arrived.
These are basically the 3 different recalls.
September, October, November. These recalls talk about fire risk, loss of power, like pretty serious stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like your headlight may burn out.
Steve's Jeep is among roughly 500,000 Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, and Pacifica hybrid models under recall for safety issues, including sudden power loss, damaged batteries that may catch fire, and sand in the engine. The most serious issue, which can cause fires or drive failure. 2 of the 3 recalls do have available repairs, and a third is on its way, according to Jeep's parent company, Stellantis.
Essentially, it was don't plug in your plug-in hybrid, and don't park it in the garage, don't park it near structures. The battery could explode.
Steve doesn't feel safe having his wife or kids ride in the Jeep, and he avoids driving it as much as possible. But he's still paying off their lease.
It's $910 a month. And that's fine if the car functions and does what I expect it to do.
Desperate to get out of his lease, he appealed to Coons Car Dealership and Stellantis.
I have my letters to Stellantis.
It does not appear that this situation qualifies under Illinois lemon law. So they're basically saying the law doesn't force us to do anything, so we're not going to do anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's 2 legal issues with the Illinois lemon law that make it difficult, if not impossible, to file the cases.
Attorney Greg Moss says in Illinois, you can't use the lemon law if your car's warranty doesn't meet a strict definition. And even when it does, you'll usually have to pay your own attorney's fees. Moss says his office is fielding calls from up to 15 Jeep owners every day facing the same recalled vehicle issues as Steve. And now he's representing many of them, including Steve, through the one legal option that could get results.
Under the federal law, you're entitled to cash compensation. And so the goal is to get you enough cash that where you can trade your vehicle in. In a lease situation, unfortunately, consumers oftentimes find themselves stuck because there's an early termination penalty.
Amid the recall, Stellantis recently announced it will phase out its plug-in hybrid Jeeps. But Steve, he's still on the hook for his lease for another 34 months.
If the manufacturer is not going to stand behind these vehicles, why do the consumers get stuck with it?
The Coons dealership tells us terminating Steve's lease or providing him with a loaner vehicle would be Stellantis' responsibility, not theirs. But they say they are acting as an advocate. Stellantis told NBC5 Responds a remedy to address the sand in the engine issue is expected to be available in mid-April. That would consist of a software update. And if that doesn't work, a long block or engine replacement will be performed at no cost to the consumer. PJ Randhawa, NBC5 Responds.
So much good information. Thank you, PJ.